Karyn, I'm excited to hear from you because I know you make a big difference in a lot of people on this call's lives. And I don't know if they thank you enough for it, but I thank you. We appreciate what you do.
All right, guys. So how's everybody doing? Great. Awesome. So yes, as you know, I've been working these primetime leads here. First of all, I work any type of leads. But just so you get a little bit of background on me, I am a single mom. Okay. I've been in the insurance business for almost 10 years. I was with a practice company for about 6, almost 7 years. And we have it so great here. Like, this is better than anything that I've ever done because we didn't have leads, right? We didn't have people to call. We actually had to go out, prospect, beg our family members and friends, generate a list, get them to come in, work all day presenting, sit them down, make them pay a fee of $100 and something a month. I mean, $100 and something up front, and then get a list of 5 to however many names we could get, and then call them and book the appointments, just hoping they didn't quit right then and there before the list went dead, right? And then to find somebody else. So we worked like crazy. So the fact that a lot of you did not come from a practice company that went through what we went through, where you didn't have leads and you had to do that, you are in a golden spot. So when I first came in and Kali brought me over, Mike Fowle had a bunch of leads and I didn't have any money. And so these leads were like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, right? And no him, and he's like, here, hey. And so Kali said, listen, that's like passing money over. Like, that's like handing out $5,000. So I treated it as such. And so getting started, I didn't have any money. I didn't even have $1 to my name. I used my last dollar to overdraft my bank account to go all the way to the other side of the highway to meet with Kali when she was living at the Blue Room, to watch her in the field for one day, close one sale, and a guy who lied, who had HIV, right? But she closed them. And I was like, this is all you do? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I could do this, right? So the next day I was in the field by myself. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had my little road, where I had to learn. But, eventually I got it because I'm around you guys. I'm around leaders. I'm around coaches. I was being coachable and I followed the system. But back to the leads. So these leads are 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. And I was crushing it. Like my first month, I made about $5,000. My second month, $8,000, and then in my third month, $16,000. And I never made below $10,000 because it clicked for me because I stayed consistent and persistent. So because I was able to call leads that were given to me that were that old, now we have all these leads. And see, we didn't have these leads that we have now in the beginning. I had to pay, I think $50 for like 20 to 25 game time leads. And that's if you close anything, right? And so now we have it so good that there's leads that are $1.50 a piece, $3 a piece, $4 a piece with a discount. So a lot of you really don't know where we started 3 years ago. And now you have so many more leads. And the cool part, these are people who fill something out and they're looking for your help. I don't care how many people you have to go through. But here's the thing, you got to think about your situation. How hard do you want to get where you are? How long have you been doing what you've been doing? I know for me, I don't want my next 10 years to look like my last 10 years. So I know I'm going to have to do something different. But what I do also know is that it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. But you have to remember that, up front, if you put in the grind for 2 to 3 years, that's different from putting the grind in for over 60 years and potentially dying on the job or coming off the job at retirement, if you make it that far, to enjoy less than 10 years of your life, which we know goes by like a flicker. And how do I know this? How do we know this? There's too many examples of people that are going through it right now. And it starts in your household. Look at your parents. Look at your grandparents. Look at your cousins. Look at your aunts. Are they happy? Are they still working? Do they have a game plan to get out of the rat race? We have that blueprint. We have that system. It doesn't matter what type of lead it is. Someone filled it out. And, the cool part is the older the lead, the better, right? They're not getting bombarded with a bunch of phone calls. And 2, people in this industry, they have it so good that they'll go through a list one time and never go back and call it again. And these are people who maybe were at work when they tried to call, or maybe they didn't answer the phone when they tried to call because they didn't recognize the number and the person or the agent didn't call enough, right? These are people being skipped over that need help or bought the wrong type of insurance. And so for me, I've gotten good over the time. Like, if you just got here, don't compare, your 2 days or your 2 weeks to my 10 years, but get good at being consistent and persistent and working hard. And I can guarantee you it will come together. It will start to make sense, especially if you're on live dials or in an office environment with like-minded people doing the same thing. So this is a copycat business. Like Amaka always says, it's Control C, right? But you got to press the buttons. You got to do the copying, right? So with these primetime leads, I heard Giovanni, he was on here and he was calling him. And here's the thing, I saw him. And the crazy part is I reached out to Jesse, who was he owns the Primetime Agency. I thought that was something he had going on. And he was like, no, I wouldn't trust it. I don't know. That's not me. So I just never thought about it. And then Giovanni got on a call like this and started talking about how he was having success with them. And I said, you know what? I always thought about adding them. Let me try them. And then here's the thing. I'm good at trying leads because I'm building a massive team, right? And with that becomes people who may not have a lot of money and may try other lead sources. So I want to be able to say, I've tried them. I know how that works. Here's how you work them. Here's what you say, right? So I can train my team on how to do it, but also get good at it. And so sure enough, is super gold. They're $1.50 statewide, $2 local. They have Spanish leads. They have IULs. They have all type of leads. And then all the information is correct. And they've even added a bonus at the end where they tell you the date that they requested it. So to have success with these leads, right? Not only do you have to call them, you have to go through your list more than a couple times, right? So how I dial them is I do, you can either do it the Dominique Rogers way, where you take a stack of 30 each, right? Your first stack of 30, you go through once and call it all the way to the voicemail, right? Then you go through it a second time and call it twice. Go through a third time and call it twice, go through a fourth time, call it twice, and the fifth time you block your number when you call, or you can dial them 3 times each, and I dial mine by hand. Now, someone might say, you know what, I can't do that. You can, right? If you have a dialing system, great. I know I trust me, right? I've done dialing systems before. I don't personally like them, right? If you like them, great. But I control me and what I do, and I control my work, right? So I know I'm dialing 3 times each and I'm getting them on the phone and I'm going back until I get somebody. And so my first primetime lead order, I spent about $255 and I closed 10 sales off, and I'm still going back through that list. The crazy part about it. And then service, they sent me another 60 leads, which I'm still going through now, which is pretty cool. So, but hey, that's not the only source of leads that I have. I have other source of leads. I have expensive leads. I have those leads, and I have the ILC leads that I like to mix together, because the name of the game is lead flow, right? If you don't have the right lead flow, your money is not going to be consistent. And so that's what we do here, right? Is the longer you stay in the game, you start to figure out what lead sources work for you that you can put together, that you buy each and every week, so that you can have success, right? So as far as the primetime leads are concerned, I love them. I work them just as I work any other lead, right? And I say, I'll go through it with Mike, right? Mike, I'm going to role play with what I say. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Yes, Mike, my name is Karyn. I'm one of the managers here in the final expense department for the state of Maryland. How you doing?
Great.
Awesome. Listen, buddy, I tried to reach out to you about a month ago. I just found some time to get back to you here. It looks like on the 20th of June, you actually submitted some information online. I got here to my desk that you were interested in getting more information on the state regulated life insurance programs at a low cost. I have your date of birth here is 9/15/1986. Email mainstreet123@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. Am I the first person you've been able to talk to about this, or have you been thinking about this for a while now and been shopping around?
No, I've gotten like 15 calls on this.
I completely understand. Now, do you already have life insurance, Mike?
No, I don't.
Okay. Is the reason you don't have life insurance because of the price, or you don't think you'll qualify, or you just haven't gotten around to it yet?
I wasn't sure if I could qualify.
Not a problem. That's the reason for my call, Mike. That's why they had me reach out to you. I represent over 30 different A-rated companies where I have a direct partnership to shop around and get you the best coverage for the best price at the lowest cost and not a penny over. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. And then I go into that. So guys, I don't say benefit center anymore because I started getting scam calls of people saying benefit center. So I didn't want to sound like those people. So I said, hey, I'm the manager of the final expense department for the state of Maryland. And they're like, who? The final expense department for the state of Maryland. And they know exactly what I'm talking about when I say final expense. And they're not hanging up on me because the scammers have adopted the benefit center already. So I've taken that out of my script and used that, and it's been gold. And I've led it with the date that they requested it, confirming their email and date of birth, and then moving on to finding out, okay, great. Am I the first person you've been able to talk to about this, or have you been shopping around for a while? If they already have life insurance, perfect. When did you get it? Have you had it for a while now, or did you just get it within the last month? Most of them have had it for over 2 years. Perfect. So were you looking to save money on what you had? Were you looking to add more coverage because you don't have enough, or were you looking to cover a loved one? Let's say neither of those. Perfect. All right. Well, if you have grandkids, I'm sure you probably filled this out because you wanted to set them up for financial success. That's the one I closed today. She didn't remember why she filled it out. Hey, I understand. I don't remember what I ate yesterday. This was a month ago, so I completely understand. But you love your grandkids, right? Yeah. Okay. So you want to make sure you set them up with financial success? Yes. Her daughter ended up passing away with no life insurance and left her with 4 kids to raise. And she covered them today and they got approved. So I take every angle with just making sure I ask the right questions, right? I make sure I listen to them and what they're saying, because by nature, guys, we are taught to say no from the beginning before we even heard what they said, right? And if you ever go into a store and you're going to buy something and someone asks you, hey, how you doing? You need help today? You naturally say no, but you really walked in there looking for something and eventually needing help, right? Well, these are our clients that we're calling. They don't remember. It was a month ago. And even the newest leads, sometimes, guys, they don't remember. I know sometimes I've done things right away, and the say that colleague can tell you, I won't remember. And then you have to jog my memory. So you have to jog these families' memory on why they filled this information out, if it's correct. So I just gotten really good over time with staying plugged into the live dials. That's listen, guys, that was the reason for my success. In the beginning, there was no live dials until Kali came up with live dials, right? Then we got on live dials together. Then we got into an office, right? Where Jamie was listening to me, Kali was listening to me. They were fixing my script. I was getting uncomfortable because that's where success lives, right? And here's the thing, I'm still on live dials. So if you feel like you don't need to be on live dials, why is it that we are still on? It's an environment that holds you accountable so that you can learn how to dial any type of lead and you can get real-time feedback so that you can change your financial situation. And if you're not on live dials, if you're not plugged into an office, if you're not talking to your coach on a daily basis, you love where you are. You love your job. You love the fact that you never have money. You love the fact of telling your kids no. You love being in a poor state of mind in a poor environment. And that's okay. So in order to get better, especially, it doesn't matter what type of leads, right? Treat every lead as if it just came in. As long as the leads are new to you, dial them as if they're brand new. They're all the same, I promise. And so that's what I got, Mike. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I got a ton of questions, and just a few things I want to say too, Karyn. Everyone that's here comes through. We all have personal issues, and I think that so many people allow those problems to keep them from working. What is something that you on a daily basis? What is going on? Who's on here that's causing a problem? Let me see what it is messing me up. Let me see. Someone unmuted and just causing problems. Let me see.
Okay.
I can't figure out who it is. What is something that you do every day to be able to kind of compartmentalize that, not let that bring you down?
So what I know is that the only thing you can control is your attitude and your activity. And when you're positive, positive things happen. When you're negative, negative things happen. And I learned this over time. I realized, and sometimes I still go through it, right? But I fix it. I'm able to fix it quicker now, right? So what I realized over time doing this business, the more that I thought positive and went to work and kept my activity high, I didn't have time to think about what didn't work. I didn't have time to complain because I had too many people to go and talk to and see.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. If you find yourself complaining, if you find yourself thinking negatively, it's because you don't have anybody to talk to. You don't have any activity. You're not working. And so I never wanted to be one of those people that complained and was always a Debbie Downer, right? Or because I didn't have nothing going on. And usually people who don't have nothing going on hang out with other people that don't have nothing going on, right? And they don't have no money. So I also wanted to prove people wrong. The company that I came from, since I've been here, I still get it. I still get backlash. I still get people that talk about me. I still get people that tell me I'm not gonna make it. My family was against it. I had to move out, okay? When I had to move out in this business early on because a lot of my family was like, okay, this is another thing. She just needs to go get a job. She's not making any money. You know what I mean? I wanted to prove everybody wrong, but most importantly, I wanted to prove that I was right with staying the course no matter what it looked like, because I knew having success wasn't easy. I've listened to the greats. They talked about the things that they went through, the struggles. I think it was Steve Harvey was one that he did a masterclass where he talked about, he went through it. And then the part where he couldn't take it no more, where he was actually like washing up in the bathroom. He was homeless. He didn't have a phone. And that call came in. I believe it was from either his mother or his grandmother's house. And he didn't even have the money to go to do the performance and do the comedy. And that was where he got his biggest break. He threw it all on the line. And so that's how we have to treat our business every day. We have to throw it on the line and just know that something's going to bite and success is going to happen, even if it's small success. Because the cool part about it is the small successes lead up to the big wins, right? If you won't fight for something as much as whatever we got a bonus, how would you ever get an integrity partnership?
Yeah.
Right? So I fight for these things and we work hard no matter what it looks like. Stay in the grind. But that's how eventually when you wake up, like a lot of these new people are having success early, is because they're staying the course. And because they stayed the course, it clicked. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like riding a bike.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have bought, I think, I see you posted probably more than anyone when you're posting in a Facebook group. Like you always post the lead type. So you never keep anything secret, and you kind of share that with everyone. With you being out there, how many, and this kind of lets me know if people are reaching out, like how many calls are you getting from other people just in our group on a daily basis, asking for help and asking for, any recommendations of what you're doing?
So I get a lot of people that ask for help. Okay. Mm-hmm. But as far as recommendations, and I've gotten text messages from my team, but I've gotten a lot of messages from other teams, other agencies, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But not that many.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, for me, like I always talk about it, I reached out to everyone, wanted to learn as much as I could. And I think there's way too many people like in our group that aren't reaching out and asking some of the other people that are doing well. And I think that makes a big difference. And obviously we can see it because we got 138 on here and we generally only have about 20 on our live dials, right? That's definitely going to keep people from being able to get better if they're not dialing around other people that are doing it.
I have a question, Karyn, about the primetime leads. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Do they get discount vouchers?
Oh, no.
No, they're $1.50, no discounts.
Okay, no discount codes for the prime times, just for the ICL.
Yeah, they do give out discounts. So your first order is your first order is 15% off.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So your first.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to know where do you go?
I wasn't finished answering his question.
I'm sorry.
Yusuf, give me 1 second, okay? I got you, buddy. So Devin, they give you a 15% off your first order, and then randomly they will send out emails and then post on their page when they're giving out deals. Like they just did one for 200 leads for $250, so, or $200, something like that. But that was at the time they did the 80% off with the ILC. I was like, yeah, I'll take the 80% off. So I bought 2,000 leads, and then I had the whole team buying them, the ILC leads.
Mike,
they work too.
Mike,
what's up, Brent?
So if y'all have do me a favor, if you guys have questions, put it in the chat because it gets way out of control with everybody unmuting at the same time, and then Mike can read them. Mike, I think it's just a way you can keep this thing tamed.
Yeah, let me mute all this out. Let's see. Post your questions in the chat, and then I'll get with Karyn. Let me mute this out.
Karyn. Is she muted now?
Yeah, let me unmute her.
Unmute Karyn.
Karyn is gonna get on my computer real quick, y'all, because she's breaking up.
She's having issues. All
We're
right.
gonna switch. Yeah.
Kylie, I like that shirt.
Jacqueline,
Pretty dope.
prime time or age are 30 days for $1.50.
Hold on, she's coming right here. She comes.
Thank you. All right. We're back.
All right, Karyn.
Oh,
So how many times through your career have you been uncomfortable purchasing bulk amount of leads? Or how many times was your bank account not pretty and you said, you know what, I'm buying leads anyway?
All the time, because I invest a lot back in my business, but I bet on myself. I bet on myself because I know I'm gonna go to work, whether it's sick, whether someone like passed away. Like I was working when I laid my uncle to rest and had to speak at the funeral this Saturday. I was working, so it doesn't matter what it is, and I'm always helping, always there. You know what I mean? Because life does like I can't believe people let life stop them. If bills don't stop, you don't stop. If someone passes away, that's more of the reason for you to go to work and get it done, because you don't know when your time is. And so, you know, I'm always uncomfortable. I always have to put myself in I'm uncomfortable now. I'm, you know, purchasing new leads, you know, investing more was what you talk about all the time. But the cool part is it forces me to go to work. It forces me to get better. It forces me to pay attention to my business. It forces me to grow. And that right there is like a diamond under pressure. A diamond doesn't form until it has pressure. What's your pressure?
I think there's a question in here, and that's one thing I never did. And I talked to, actually, Jesse and I had this conversation the other day, like trying to figure out the return on investment on a $200 investment. I mean, Karyn spent $200 and did like 4,000 or 5,000. So I guess you can figure out that ROI based off of that.
Yeah, my first 255. My first sale was over, I think, 2,200.
Yeah, so I mean, the return on investment, you're not going to get anything better than that.
Yeah, all this production for this month, besides 2 sales, were prime time, and I'm at what, 19 issued.
Yeah, KG's up at the top. Now, one thing is she's very consistent. I mean, she's always there every single month, month in, month out, just very consistent. Never all the way at the top and then down at the bottom, consistent every single month with what she's doing. And then in the past, when Karyn, I remember when you couldn't drive, I think you were sick or something, or some car issues, you immediately flipped over to telesales and then didn't skip a beat. I mean, you were working more because you were just starting out with telesales, but it's one of those things that I think people need to be able to understand, that sometimes you have to do that. You have to be able to pivot, and it's not just, you know, the business is closed or I'm going to go do something else because I ran into a little bit of problems. And I think too many people do that way too soon.
You're right.
Yes, primetime leads is where she's getting her leads from.
And here's the thing, my life is going life. It's not if, it's when it does. The question is, are you going to be ready? I was ready when life happened. Life is still going to happen, right? But some of you are going to call me or call Kali or call Frank and call Mike and say, I can't do this because I'm getting my tire fixed. Make your calls. I would listen when my car broke down in the field before I bought the one I have now. I was at the car shop making calls, doing appointments.
Karyn, let's go back to when you first started. Was it 2 years or 3 years? I'm terrible with time. KG, is it 2 years or 3 years?
3.
3 years. My God, time flies. Let's go through that because we have a lot of new people on the call. What did your schedule look like, and what was your lead purchasing like when you were brand new to be able to get up and running to where you are now?
Yeah, so in the beginning it was $300 to $500, more so on the 300 side, but $300 to $500 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because I was still getting referrals then, and then I was dialing Monday, running a full day Tuesday, dialing Wednesday, doing a full day Thursday, dialing Friday, running in the field on Saturday, and off on Sunday. And building the days that I wasn't in the field, but I was booking my appointments, which only took me like 4 hours. Afterwards, I would build and bring people into the business from the practice company. And then eventually you guys started the campaign. And so I got a seat on the campaign where I mixed those with the people that I was reaching out to on social media.
Got it. So the people that you're hiring right now, brand new people that are coming in, what do you in terms of leads given to them to be able to get them up and running?
The older ILC leads that agents that came in that were supposed to call that never called. I get a lot of referrals, and I spend a lot of time on a particular list. So it's, even with the discount, I'm giving out leads. I'm saying, hey, listen, if you could book my schedule for tomorrow, you get the practice in, I can give you some leads. Here you go, right? Or just getting them started with older leads if they don't have any, if their funds are not that right, but they're willing to go to work. I'm willing to invest in you, right? But you got to come with the heat. You got to work. You got to go to work, and you got to show up.
Got it. Let's see. Any other questions, Jamie?
I had a question.
Kali has a question.
Jump in here, Kali.
What did your schedule look like?
I just went over there.
Oh, I wasn't in here.
Yeah, no, you're right here.
Oh.
Sorry.
Dial day, run a day, 7 days.
Dial day, run a day.
How are you also building on top of selling?
Yeah. Okay. So building on top of selling. So here's the thing. When you're in business, there is no balance. And I knew that coming in, even though I have a son, right? And that he's on a strict schedule. I knew that I was going to have to sacrifice some time with him. And I told him that up front, whether he understood or not. I just kept telling him, because he knows, what are we working towards, baby? The red jacket. That's all he knows. The red jacket, right? But so when I would dial in the morning, I would start at 9 a.m. I'd be done like around 12 or 1. I would actually, go through my phone, go through social media, and then also the campaign as well. And then also when I'm in the field, right, I have those times in between my appointments where either at the time, the agents were actually, some of the agents, if they were local, would ride with me, or I was making phone calls in between. If an appointment blew out and I did a door knock and no one answered, I had a moment to call somebody to see if I can get them on the team. So just staying busy, staying active, high activity, whether it be talking to people about the business. Because here's the thing, if you're not selling at a high level, you better be building, because you're going to need some money to come in, right? And it takes about 60 to 90 days for a license to get acclimated into successfully writing business. Most agents don't even make it. They don't even take the exam. So you want to start planting those seeds now, because you're looking for people like you. No one had to tell me to get a license. Nobody had to tell me to keep going. Nobody had to tell me any of this. Like, I wanted this. And those are the people that you're looking for. You don't make winners, you find them, right? But how do you find them? Through the masses. And when you work through the masses, you eat with the classes. I work through the masses so that I can sit with Mike, Frank, Kali, and a lot of the top dogs in the company, so I can get uncomfortable and get better and keep elevating, keep growing and keep going, right? But how you find your studs is through your duds. And then guys, you keep your duds around long enough, right? They eventually become studs, because eventually when you're in a winning environment like this, a high activity environment, eventually people get tired of where they are and they've plugged in for so long, they wake up and start to actually pick up the phone and go to work. They start winning. So everybody's learning curve is different, right? If you feel like you're not good right now, you have room to get better. But you don't know when that's going to happen. So you have to put time in your favor by going to work now. But it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Just like working out. It's never easy to work out. Actually, the first 2 weeks are the toughest. Well, guess what? The first 18 months in your insurance business is going to look like a shit show. Excuse my foreign. After that, I think you've experienced every type of person. You have probably opened up every type of application and e-app. You've gone through it all. Go run and see your first 100 clients, and you won't really know what you're doing until 30 to 60 days of consistently sitting down, which is the meat and potatoes of this business, booking up, dialing on the phones and getting in the homes, or dialing on the phones and getting them on the phone and keeping them on the phone. But that comes with staying in this environment and not just showing up, going to work. Would you hire you?
Hey, Karyn, I got a question for you. What was the biggest, I guess the biggest hurdle going from being in the field to going all telesales? Because I know before you weren't a big fan of telesales. You did it, but you weren't a big fan of it. But now it seems like you're doing that almost 100% of the time. What was the biggest hurdle to be able to transition to telesales?
My mindset. I had to shift my mindset, because if, I don't care what you believe in, right? But if your faith is as big as you say it is, the way that you show up to church, the way that you show up, why wouldn't you show up for you? So I knew my faith was bigger than anything. And I was like, I've been through worse. Somewhere, some kid is drinking water from a puddle in a third world country, wishing they had an inkling of what we got. I got 2 arms, I got a mouth, I can talk, I can see. I'm blessed. I'm here for a reason. My faith is bigger than anything. So I wrote it on faith, because faith without works is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet it on me. Like Kali says, like, you got to bet on yourself. If you know that you're not going to make it, you're not. But if you know you're going to make it, you're right. And use the hurdles in the business, use your mistakes, use the things that you're going through as building blocks to your success. And the cool part is, you guys are coming, even me, we're coming into a space where we didn't have to go through what Frank went through. We didn't have to go through what Mike went through. They went through the things that we don't have to go through, so we can get to where they are faster. Kali, myself, a lot of the leaders have gone through a lot of the things that you don't have to go through, so you can get there faster. Why step on the landmine and blow yourself up? We want you to win, because when you win, we win. When you eat, we eat, as a team. But we can't help people that don't want to go to work.
That is true. That's one thing we can't fix.
But the cool part is, the basics of this business is the foundation. Where it all starts is your mindset. And we have a meeting every morning, Monday through Friday. It's a morning mojo meeting, where for the first 3 minutes, all of us together, it's about 40 to 50 people that get on, and we just talk about our affirmations, and we yell them out, and we hold our hands to our heart, and we speak what we want. And then we go through training afterwards. And I know for a lot of people, they've cried that this has changed their business completely. But the more people we get on, the more people that can say their affirmations, the more people that can write down their affirmations, the more that everything that you said you wanted is going to come true. I see some heads nodding. Yeah. You got to speak what you want. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me too, right? But again, that's where success lives.
Karyn, I appreciate it. I hope we see every one of you guys on live dials tomorrow. We'll see you guys next Monday, KG. I appreciate everything that you do for the group. Thank you. Everyone, make it a great night.